Okay, back by popular demand, another New Day voter panel. This time, Democratic voters from Ohio, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, all of whom voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016. You may remember some of them from previous panels during that election season. Well, we brought them back to see how they're feeling today and who they want to take on President Trump. Show of hands. How many of you are feeling today very optimistic about a Democrat's chances in 2020? Michael, why are you optimistic? I
think, Trump has created an energy on the left that we haven't seen in a long time. It wasn't enough to get over the hump in 2016, apparently, but I think that the Democrats are appearing to be better organized.
Tell me, if you can limit it to one, who you're most excited about right now, of the people who are in or even considering getting in. Can you narrow it down to one right now, Russell?
I really like what Kamala Harris is doing in terms of, schooling and green initiatives. But also, to go with like a kind of old safety, with Bernie Sanders. He just had so much going for him.
Mary, who are you most excited about?
I would have to agree. My eye is on Senator Harris right now. I think it's time to have a woman. Because a woman brings a different perspective and has a different experience of life.
Michael?
I was for Bernie in the 2016 primaries. I think that he brings a lot to the table from 2016 because he now has the name recognition. He's got a machine behind him that's not necessarily the same as the Democratic Party machines. It's not enough to just energize Democrats. You need to find a candidate who can actually energize some of those 100 million plus people who just, for whatever reason, are not voting.
I'm not excited for Bernie, though.
Why?
I think it was very divisive last time around, and I think it's going to do the same thing. I'm looking for a candidate that's going to keep us alive and pull us together, and I don't think that's Bernie. I think that there is a section of the Republican Party that doesn't like Trump either and is looking for a more centrist candidate, and Bernie is way left.
If I had to pick someone right now, I really love Elizabeth Warren. I think she has everything that I'm looking for. She has really bold ideas. She's not backing down on making big promises, and she knows how to get them done. She knows how to sell them, and I think that's something we want in our president. I think that's what's going to beat Donald Trump.
I don't really think it's time to pick because we have 4 stellar women candidates, and I'm just for all of them to move forward and see which one rises above the others.
Christian, who are you most excited about?
I really like Cory Booker. I think he is phenomenal. I think he's done a really great job. I hope that Beto O'Rourke comes in. I think that he's just waiting, and I'm really energized about him. And Kamala Harris is right up there, too.
How many people believe that the winning formula would be for a Democrat to be pragmatic and more centrist? Show of hands. 2 of you feel that way. How many of you feel that the time is right for a progressive, and that's what would win? Carol?
We're ready for progressive candidates. They've won all over the country. And I think we need bold, strong leadership, and you'll find that in the progressives.
I think that we had the standard bearer for the kind of pragmatic centrist candidate in Hillary Clinton in 2016, and Donald Trump is now the president. He is not your average political candidate. So we really need to try to think outside the box because, it seems like the dude is made of rubber. Like anything you throw at him just bounces off. There's nothing that sticks.
How many of you would like to see Joe Biden get in? Show of hands. What's happening, Russell?
His time is done.
I'll be honest. I used to think because obviously he was riding like kind of the Obama wave, and I thought he was the person that would unite the party. But to be honest, Senator Biden really comes from the good old boy politics of the past.
I don't think Joe Biden represents that new thing that we need. We need a new economy, we need a new politics, and we need someone different.
What will you be voting on in 2020 if the election were held today? Mary, what's your big issue that you feel you would vote on?
My big issue truly is about climate change. I think because it touches everyone, and it touches jobs, and it touches our future. And we cannot have a conversation about politics without considering what we are doing to the planet.
And you see people freaking out over the wall and these migrants coming up from Central and South America, I mean, that's going to be like nothing compared to the migration we will see as climate change really starts to affect the sea level rise. I mean, the ice is melting fast.
My big issue is the global world order. I mean, we have a president who has humiliated the United States on the global stage by cozying up to dictators, by falling in love with the leader of North Korea, by having a relationship with Russia that makes him giddy and excited.
I echo all the sentiments on climate change. I also am going to be looking for a candidate that's going to take on sensible gun regulation. That's a big one for me. That's maybe the biggest one for me.
I think overall, like whoever I support, they have to be for Medicare for all. It's hurting so many people. It's something Democrats have worked on since FDR, and we absolutely need to have that. Healthcare just needs to be a human right.
All of you ended up being Hillary voters. So does Hillary have a role in 2020? Should she campaign for?
Stay away.
Why is that?
I love you, Hillary. I love you. But stay away. We're so divided right now that anything that has Hillary on it is automatically going to separate us again.
I just think her time is done. I think it's done. We do need something new.
Do you feel the same way about President Obama? Should he campaign for who?
Yes, he should campaign. He's a great campaigner. He's very beloved, and he also has a tremendous connection to all the people that love him. He has a base still, and that base is very strong. And he has, I think, an authoritative voice against Trump that we're going to need in this campaign.
Wow, there was a lot that's interesting there. First of all, one of the things we hear from Iowa voters and New Hampshire voters, Democratic voters, is they're sampling. They're in the sampling season, and clearly that group of 8 people is in the sampling season.
Absolutely, but there's a lot that they like so far. They all said they're cautiously optimistic because they really like the field.
What was notable and perhaps frightening to some people is who they don't like. If I am Joe Biden sitting at home right now, I'm watching that being like, I'm weighing whether I want or not. There are 8 people now. Granted, I think those may have been 8 people more active in Democratic politics, not necessarily the casual observer, and it might be that Biden sells better with the more casual Democratic voter and older Democratic voter. By the way, and that was not a older group of voters, 65 and older, and that's who Biden may do better with right there. But that, I think, it should sound a tone of caution, I think.
No, I was surprised. I was surprised that there's 6 of them. But I mean, I know math isn't our strong suit.
No.
But I was surprised that of the 6, that nobody said that they were supporting Biden. They seem much more engaged with the newcomers on the block, but not just because of the novelty of it. I mean, these are people who have been active at times and who are certainly engaged. So they know the platform. Okay, so tomorrow we have part 2, and they talk about the investigations that are going on, the oversight, what they want to see in terms of what happens with President Trump, and also how strongly they feel, you'll hear tomorrow, about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Nancy Pelosi.
It doesn't surprise me at all, because another notable thing there was how progressive and how demanding I think they sound like they will be on progressive issues of the candidates.
Yes, indeed.
Fascinating.
We live in a really nightmare. We live in a really nightmare.